come on a little walk with me and Roxy, and we're going to be working on our heel work on our way and doing a little bit of socialising. So I've got my hands-free lead on because we're at that level, and every time she pulls out in front, I'm literally just going to be standing still and waiting for her to come back to me, or I might instruct her to come to my side as well. So we'll see how she gets on. Don't be fooled by these leads, people, because this lead, as I bought it, stated that it would guarantee to stop pulling. And as you can see, that is not the case. It's what you do that guarantees the stop pulling, right? So there was another dog walking across the road just there, and she was just a little distracted, so I'm walking backwards a little bit to try and encourage her to look at me and return to me, and then when she's returning, that's when we can go on our onward journey. So it's another thing that you can do when you're walking with your dog. If they pull out in front of you, you could walk the other way, but it's not a strict turnaround and an absolute yank of the lead. It's more of a encourage them to move along with you. So after a little bit of practice, this is kind of what we got. So we got this nice loose lead, but I do have something in my hand. Ta-da! It's a tennis ball. So it's the way that I'm able to get Roxy's attention. So once we've picked our location, now I'm using a settle mat to help me out with this. But you could do the same thing without a settle mat, and that's absolutely fine. So all we're doing is encouraging your dog to pick up a relaxed position, whether that's sit or down for them, that's fine. Because I'm using the settle mat, I have to begin with the settle mat training first, and then we go into the socialising aspect. So every time she's choosing to stay in the position that I've put her in, she gets a little treat. And when she looks at me, she gets a little treat. Regardless of what's going on in the world around her, if she chooses to stay here and disengage from that world, but look at me, she gets a lovely reward. That helps her feel good about herself in the moment. And our dogs love to do things that make them feel good. That is literally how they behave. So if we can create a feel-good feeling for her just simply by sitting there and watching the world go by, then she's more likely to do that behavior again, right? So then it's about repetition. You've got to claw those treats back a little bit as well. Allow your dog to observe the world and to look around and give them the little treat. As soon as they look at you, you could mark it with a yes or use a clicker. And then you're just repeating that process over again. So just to be clear, she gets to be a dog, and then I reward her for simply staying in that place, for looking at me. After she's observed the world, she gets a treat. And if they move, we just quickly pop them back in that same position. But notice, when they move, we don't reward them straight away. I don't want a pattern of behaviour forming. And the pattern of behaviour is usually, I move, you put me back, I get a treat. That's what I'm meant to do. But instead, we want her to realise that she just needs to take up that nice relaxed position in order to get that treat. So she's even given me that nice relaxed look. And then I'm just holding that for as long as I possibly can before I think she's going to move. And then I give her the treat before she moves, okay? And then when I'm ready, toss the ball and off she goes.